His body lay, light of the world by darkness slain, then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again, and as he stands in victory, sin's curse has lost its grip on me, for I am his and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ.
Hi guys, Suzie Yule Diadem here. I'm glad and I'm grateful to God that we have another opportunity to meet, to share our lives, yes, and to impact each other positively. This channel, we said it's all about positivity, living positively regardless. And I'm so happy that, yes, we're going to have another session together. Schools are about to open, or have they opened? They should be opening this coming week because we are getting into the month of May. And so I want to just reflect kidogo about school and my school days, yes. And I want to give is it a warning or what? I want to talk to teachers rather. Let me talk to teachers. Nitetee wanafunzi kidogo. As the schools reopen, but I think they have opened. I think it's a week since they opened. It's only that we've been given so many holidays and not, but since we are, it is 1st of May, I believe some schools opened last week, and those who are joining maybe from ones are joining this week. Yes, so I had an interesting time in school. I was this all good girl in school. I don't think I've ever been asked to bring my parent. That is in high school. I've never been asked to bring my parent because of the case of indiscipline. In primary school, I've been asked twice to bring my parent. And maybe that one I should talk some other time, because that time, the two times, one time was genuine, but the other time, I honestly feel that teacher had an issue. He had his own personal issue, and maybe, by the way, I should maybe talk to teachers and I understand what that could have been all about, because I had a funny experience in primary school. That's not what for today. For today, I'm reflecting on my high school days, and as I said, I was a good girl. I didn't have any cases of indiscipline. I was this girl whose Christ has died for, and so I was living up to the standard. But now, there is this one time, one teacher who I've never forgotten. I won't mention the name. I've never forgotten, because she was a good teacher. And I had no subject with her. She never taught me any subject, but she taught me a life lesson that I've never forgotten till to date. And I would have wished if life ever gave me an opportunity to meet this teacher, and maybe talk to her and also ask her, why did you have to go to that extent? Because I said I want to talk to teachers, because I want you teachers to just request you, Aki, please sometimes be a bit fair to the students. I know students can be in discipline, they need to be controlled, they need to be to be guided and all that, for the best of their lives, the outcome of their lives. Though sometimes I feel like teachers sometimes can get a bit harsh. So there is this case I had in high school, in Form 4, and I was in a day school. And one day, my friend decided to bring me to come with mangoes to bring mangoes in school, which was not an issue, it was allowed. But now, there is a mistake we did, when to eat the mangoes. I know my viewers, you can relate, but it's not what you are thinking. We didn't eat the mangoes from the classroom. So what we did at the PE time, me and my friend, we passed by the kitchen area, and we requested the cook to help us with a knife. We were trying to act these cool kids who want to wash, peel, and have them in slices. And like the truth them days, maembe utamu yake ilikuwa kukula na the peels hata bila kuosha, by the way, because imekuja direct from the shamba and we didn't have issues. But now me and my friend, we decided we are cool kids. So PE time, PE lesson. We passed by, before we go to the field to play, we passed by the kitchen, requested, borrowed a knife from the cook, and he gladly gave us. So we washed our mangoes, tukachukua kisu, and then we were peeling. Oh my God. Just when we are done peeling, before we eat our mangoes, here comes the teacher on duty. And she's like, "You girls, what are you doing here?" We say, "Teacher, we are on PE." So we wanted to just have our mangoes. And she was like, "Do you know at this time you're either supposed to be in class or to be in the field? So whatever you're doing around the kitchen area, I don't know what it is." And we were told to throw away the mangoes and then we go for PE, but tomorrow we report each with a sack of mangoes. Imagine. Now for me, nilikuwa nimeletewa. And I was coming from where I was going to school. It was a bit distance from my home. So for me, actually I used to take a matatu. It was quite a distance. So for me, kwetu hakukuwa na, okay, there was a mango tree, but we just had one mango tree. And then my dad was kind of this disciplined man. You don't just go hitting the mangoes. I mean, it has to be like, so for me, I didn't have really a source of ya kuendea a whole sack of mango. And then again, itasema aje home, nachuna a whole sack nikipeleka wapi. And I don't want to say that I was found with an indisciplined case in school. So I got so afraid. And she was damn serious. So kitu ya kwanza nilisikia vibaya. Kama embe saa ile tu umepeel, umekatakata slices. You imagine vile utaenda kwa field ukiweka kamoja kwa na umeweka kachumvi. Oh my God. Alafu umeambiwa utupe. Like, oh, teacher, why did we have to throw the mango away? Seriously, please. And then I thought that was punishment enough. You still asked us to bring a sack of mangoes. God. That is an experience I have never forgotten in high school, because I think that was the only time I've ever received a punishment from a teacher. And I think that was a bit harsh for me, because now we had to agree with this lady. But now at yeye kwao they had many mango trees. But what will we tell her parents? That tunaendea 2 sacks of mangoes, tulipata tukifanya nini? And the other side is, these are day school. Utatoka shule, we used to, I think at 4, then we used to have some preps. So the earlier we could have arrived at home, maybe it's 5, ikielekea 6 huko. Utachuna hiyo maembe yote saa ngapi? Na utasema unapeleka wapi? Okay, fortunately this girl had a cousin in the school who was a man, or rather a boy. Oh, high school ni men. I don't want to be sued. So this cousin of hers, a boy, kwao they had so many mango trees, so getting mangoes, even 2-3 sacks, wasn't an issue. And now him being a man, at least he doesn't have to answer so many questions to the parent, unlike us ladies. So she sweet talked the guy and he agreed. So sisi after shule, hey, both of us were not left for preps. We went with this guy kwao. This guy was so happy, by the way, because aliona kadem kwa kutupia vibes. And this guy was younger than, because we were in Form 4, he was in Form 3. But then he thought, he wanted kunikatia. Me, I didn't have a problem kukatiwa, because after all, I'm in a problem. And kukatiwa wasn't nile tu kuambiwa tu vitu tuzuri. It's not anything that was... we were very disciplined. We could not even think of crossing the boundary, so there was no big issue. So sisi tulienda after school tukatingiza. So the man work was kutingiza hiyo mti. Wale wamegroia in shags, wacha na watoto wa 20s, wale watu the legends, mnajua how we used to, you shake the mango tree, mango zinaanguka. So him, he was to shake as kila mtu aokote ngunia yake. So we did that, and at night we took the mangoes to the school compound so that tomorrow morning nikupelekea tu mwalimu. That was one hectic night for me. And now I went home very late, you can imagine. But then I had this is the time I had to lie to my parent. If dad, you are listening to this, and mom, you are listening to this, please don't punish me now, because you didn't, hamukujua then, and you didn't know. Now this is the time I'm telling you the truth, because I had to tell them tulikuwa shule na tuliachwa na mwalimu, and there was some tuition to be taken. And since I had not had issues with indiscipline, I think it wasn't hard for me to convince them. Confession time. My parent, hiyo siku si ati niliachwa shule, nilikuwa kwa wenyewe kwa shamba nikichuna maembe, because a teacher asked me to bring a whole sack of mango. Now in the morning came the teacher, and I think she also got surprised, because through to it tulikuwa na whole sack ripe, because hiyo time maembe ukitengeza, si unajua they used to fall zenye zimeripen. So tukaitwa, we were told to kneel down in front of the office with our gunias of mangoes. Why was we getting tortured too much about this? What about now again, tumelala tukichuna maembe, now here we are, umetuambia to kneel in the front of the office staff room. So up until the time the disciplinary teacher comes, reports, so that now he can take up the case, because now this teacher, I think she felt she has given enough. Now she is handing us over to the discipline master. That was the next most scaring thing in my life, because I only had stories of how harsh the discipline teacher is, but me, I had never had an experience. So you can imagine the torture. Kneeling there at the staff room, ukiwa na mango, gunia ya maembe, waiting for the discipline master. Now you can see teachers coming by, maybe hata mwenye alikuchapa jana ulianguka his or her subject, and then they are passing you there. Yeah, it was a torture. But now when the discipline master came, we explained what happened, and we apologized, we said we are sorry. I think he learned that we had had enough punishment. So he just asked us that during lunch break, we're going to serve the students with the mangoes. Hiyo siku watu, they had fruits. Wase wa Gatonyo secondary, can you remember that day? We served you mangoes. So that is the day that so the discipline master just told us we will serve other students with the mangoes. Then we were told to take few mangoes and give to the teachers, take to the staff room. Teachers, please, even as our students come back to school, please try to be a bit lenient on your punishment, because I think kutuambia tutupe maembe yenye we had already peeled, yenye mdomo ilikuwa so ready to take, that was enough punishment for us, hata kama hungepitisha that. And actually, wewe kutuona spotting us near the kitchen, that was enough. The scare, the ile kushtuka, that was enough punishment. But just for us not to get used to it, maybe kutuambia tutupe, that was enough. Now going the extra ya kutuitisha maembe, a whole sack, I think that was also enough. You didn't have to tell us again to kneel. Now who am I speaking to? I'm not even sure she's, I believe by now she's a bit aged. Anaweza kuwa na watch videos on YouTube. I don't know who I'm addressing, but let me just address teachers in general. It's not so necessary to don't go too much in punishment. Wacha tu nitete students. Well, it's not like we appreciate the much work that teachers do. They really do a lot. I'm grateful that I had teachers who taught me academics, who taught me life models, who taught me a lot. But I just felt like highlighting pale mnaenda, at least I feel like mnaenda bali sana. Yeah, that's my feeling. I don't know you, my guys, if you have ever had an experience that you thought hiyo nayo teacher alienda sana hata kama ulikuwa kwa makosa. Or maybe you teachers have had an experience where this student is so indisciplined. And by the way, I also think before mtu apewe very harsh punishment, maybe anafaa kuangaliliwa record yake kama ni mazoea, like huyu mtu are they always found in the wrong or what? Because if she looked at my record, and even the other lady we were with, because I used, you look at your friend and tell who they are. We were good, hatukukua na any records za indiscipline. In any case, you imagine watu wanyaenda kuosha maembe na kupeel in high school. Who does that? So sisi tulikuwa cool kids, hatukuwa na maneno, because wengi walikuwa tu wanakula hata bila kuosha, hata bila kupeel. So hatukuwa wabaya.